Hello, I'm Mike with this week's new and trending AI tools you can't afford to miss. Coming up, we'll look at Cursor 3 with the ability to point, click, and circle things and make changes to stuff you've vibe coded. The new open source model from Google is free. It can run apparently on a Raspberry Pi. It's Gemma 4. We'll have a tinker with that later on. Now, it's been a while, so I'm going to grab the Pro account and test Cursor 3 out. Now, why should you care? Well, first of all, you can run 8 agents in parallel. That's a lot of vibe coding. Plus, there's a new command where you can test different AI models in parallel to find which does the best work. We are up and running. Let's just get this installed again. Okay, and here we are. Well, we can see, let's actually make this a lot bigger. There's a Composer 2 with frontier level intelligence, and also it's more cost efficient. And you can see this is nice onboarding actually. First time I've used Cursor in a while. It says, hi there, welcome to Cursor. It's the best way to code with agents. What do you want to work on? So already we can see that vibe coding is getting so user friendly. You do not need to know a line of code to get started, and I'll show you how this works. So first of all, we'll make AI models compete against each other by going /best of n. Now this is really cool. As you can see here, I can actually put in AI models that I want to compare against each other. So as you can see over here, I've said /best-of-n, and then we give 3 different AI models. So ChatGPT, Claude Sonnet, and the Cursor native Composer. So now here in Cursor 3, you can see the full prompt I'm giving, best of n, GPT, Sonnet, Composer, and then the initial prompt, where I'd like it to build me a sick weather dashboard based on isitniceout.com. It's something I've used for years, but I think vibe coding can help me mimic this. And the algo it uses to tell me if it's good to go outside. I need a percentage of nice outside, whether it's nice for a run, nice for a swim, and so on. Include weather, especially wind, UV, and the air quality, and use a free weather API and give me hour by hour for the next 24 hours. Things like AQI and UV should affect whether it's okay to go out and exercise. This would be a genuinely useful app for me. I'm really keen to see what my 3 AI models do, so let's hit enter and look at this. The new sub-agents are all starting up and planning their moves. Now, I can either pop open here, or if I click one of them here, you'll see what they're working on appears on the left-hand side of Cursor 3. It's really cool. Here's another one. It's working away and doing its own Git work tree, which is awesome. And now if we look, one of them is actually going through and coding. Let's look at the other one. Yep, that's also coding. And this one is also working on the styles CSS. So we're about to see 3 AI agents running in parallel. All right, this is absolutely insane. We can see one of the agents has already completed, and we can ping into them. We'll also allow that Python command. Look at this, final outcome success. That's great. Another agent here completed, and it says it's a success, which is great. We're just waiting for this final agent. The only thing I wish I could see is which agent was which. There's no clear appearance here as to which is doing what, but look, we're getting the results coming in real time here. Now, I absolutely love this, and I don't know if there's any bias here there. It says differences are mostly in UX and polish. Composer is the strongest on the weather factor. Sonnet emphasizes UX flow, and GPT is solidly balanced. But it also recommends me a winner and says Composer, Cursor's own AI agent for the algorithm richness and robustness, unless you prefer Sonnet's UX. Well, let's take a look. All right, so here we've got the eye-popping ChatGPT version of Is It Nice Out? Interesting. It gives me a latitude and longitude here. Let's do 34.67 and then longitude of 33.04 and refresh what we've got here from ChatGPT. Interesting. Okay, that's fantastic. We've got temperature. Feels like this is all looking pretty accurate. The AQI is pretty high because, yes, we're facing a dust storm right now. Not the biggest fan of the UI, though. So let's have a look at what Sonnet's done. Yes, this is typical Claude nicety. I like this. Everything in nice bubbles. It's looking really good. And this time I don't have to put in lat and long, unless I want to. As I can see just here, I can. But I can type in a city name. So let's do this and see what comes back for Limassol. Yes, this is looking pretty good. Some different temperatures here and different humidities as well. And the AQI is different, maybe a little on the low side, knowing that we're currently experiencing a dust storm. So I'm not sure of the accuracy of this one, but I do hold out hope for Cursor's very own Composer because it said itself it's the best. Let's have a look now. The UI opens up to a blank page. So let's type in my Testing city here again, update, and ooh, okay, interesting stuff. Yeah, Fahrenheit, I'm a Celsius guy myself, but I can overlook that for the moment. Overall nicety, 74%, interesting. AQI, worryingly low as well here compared to what I know we're going through right now. So the accuracy of all three is not absolutely perfect, but at least we can pick our favorite design and iterate on that. I've got to say, when I look through, GPT is ugly as heck, Sonnet, and Composer, yeah, I don't know. I think I would pick Sonnet as the winner. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. All right, the best thing is now I've got something that I like. I can open Agents window and we can seamlessly hand off to agents. So you'll see here, this is what I've been working on. This is everything right here. I can click in, and this is actually an agent running right now for me in the cloud. Look at this. But what is really cool about this Sonnet creation is I can go into design mode. That's this little pen icon up here, or I can hit Shift Command D. And this is insane because I can now select any part of the creation and get Cursor 3 to update it. So for instance, say I want weather icons as emojis to appear, shift and drag right down here, and I can actually type right into the chat. Look down here, I can say place weather emoji icons here, please, and hit enter and let design mode go to work. And it's just finished up, and look at this, it's given me a summary, but more importantly over here now, I have emoji icons for weather conditions. That is really cool. All right, let's have some fun. I'm just going to select this title and I'm going to type to it bigger and gradient effect, please. While the agent's going to work, I'll do multiple things at the same time. This is the beauty of Cursor 3. I'm shift and dragging around the UV numbers, and I'll say color code numbers for UV intensity. Now I'll also select these 4 boxes and I'll say add big emoji to each box and hit enter. You can see how easy it is to vibe code now. It's no longer needing to know code. It's no longer needing to type exactly what you're talking about and hope the AI knows what you want to change. You point, you drag, you click, you type. And look at this, it's just wrapped up on my 3rd request. So let's hit refresh here. And look at that, now we have emojis along the top. We have a gradient title here. We have UV color coded to the intensity of the sun's rays. Vibe coding is now as easy as editing a Word document. Thanks to Cursor 3. All right, next up, ever the tinkerer I am, here is a Raspberry Pi 4. It's been kicking around in my cupboard for quite a while. But the question is, can I install an AI model on a Raspberry Pi? Well, now maybe I can with the launch of Gemma 4 from Google, a truly free and open source model that can run on tiny devices like Raspberry Pis and even your phone. Now, spoiler alert here, I set Claude Code to go and look at my home network. It's got access to the whole thing, and it did some investigations. It said Pi 4 is going to be tight. In fact, it drew me up a list here of which models of Gemma 4 would run on what devices. And I've got a Pi 4 and it said probably it's not going to work. A Raspberry Pi 5 with 16 gigabytes of RAM was the benchmark for Gemma 4, but not all is lost because I've got some other devices. I've got a couple of small mini computers and also a NAS from Synology, and it's given me a nice breakdown here of which one it would run the best on. So basically it said the best place to put Gemma 4 is actually on my NAS, which I wouldn't have thought so. I've got loads of free RAM on there. I installed more and I can get a reasonable tokens per second there. That's usable. And I could certainly hand Gemma 4 off to something like OpenClaw that I'll show you in a second to do tasks that don't even touch the cloud, which is really cool. So as my Claude Code did all the research, I'll say, yeah, put on Morpheus, which is the name of my NAS, by the way. And I'll say, let's do E4B because it's smarter, but slightly slower in terms of tokens per second. I'll say, set up and tell me how to use when done. Simple as that. I just give the instructions to Claude Code, and AI coding assistants are so good now, they know exactly what to do. Now, while my agent is running in the background and setting up Google's Gemma 4 on my NAS, I wanted to show you what I've been doing with OpenClaw. First of all, auto research from Andre Carpathe, former head of AI at Tesla, super smart guy. He's basically made the first recursively self-improving AI roadmap here. And the best thing is you can copy and paste the link to his code right into your OpenClaw. This is what I did earlier last week. And now you'll see here my OpenClaw that is running my X account is actually setting up experiments every few days and basing it on the amount of views that my X posts are getting. It already had experiment 1 where it was trying to test if it put the name of something like Claude Code or Microsoft Copilot as the first thing in a post, would it get more or less medium views? But it's actually found the best performing posts historically, and it started up a new experiment here with auto research. So experiment number 2 is basing on the baseline of 316 median impressions, engagement rate of just over 5%, and a profile click rate of 1.26%, which is strong. People are actually looking at my automated X account. And the new experiment is to hook people in with these kind of ideas. Most people do X wrong. Common disbelief is not true, or X is not what people think it is, and then reframe. This is super smart, and these experiments are now running hands off without me touching. My agent is autonomous and self-improving. And if you're interested to see what's going on, this is the autonomous account. It's outgrown its lobstery outfit, and I've now just called it Creator Magic. But you can actually see all of these posts are now being posted in real time, and my AI is using Kapafe's model to see if the experiments it's running are doing better or worse than before, keeping what works and discarding what doesn't. Now, the best thing is my OpenClaw instance that uses the X API is getting really, really clever. So it's got all the data and it's pulling in reports for me every day. For instance, it briefed me this morning on some of the top AI topics such as Gemma 4, Pika Labs Pika Stream, which looks really good by the way, and a ton more stuff. I also said you mentioned Cursor 3 is worth looking at today. That's what we did earlier in the video. And I got my agent to go out on X and find the trending features in priority order. So I told you about parallel agents, the best of N command as well, the Composer 2 model, and there are loads of other things that I didn't get to in this video. But it's really cool that my OpenClaw can now do a lot of my pre-video research for me. So I can just rock up here, find out what's happening, and then tell you. Now, you'll also see over the left-hand side, I'm using OpenClaw in so many different ways. I've got YouTube intelligence agents going out. I've got Zeus, who basically runs everything for me. My health AI. I've got a YouTube fun feed. That's just podcasts I want to listen to in my spare time. And my AI agents here that are supposed to be doing crazy things with crypto, but I got to admit to you, they got a bit lazy in the last few weeks, and without human prodding, they're not doing much, which I think really plays to the message that human plus AI is the super-powered combo, and AI on its own is pretty lazy, spins its wheels, and tends to put out a load of AI slop. So we're not all replaced yet would be the message from this video that I hope you take, and I hope you go and do amazing things with AI because it's still an incredible time to build. Oh, and by the way, if you'd like to see one of those OpenClaw instances in more detail, leave a comment down below with the name of the one you'd most like to see, and I might feature it in a future video. All right, this is really cool. While I've been doing all that, Gemma 4 has been installed on my NAS. So let's just say, are you there to this version of Gemma 4 that's running on Ollama on my NAS. This was all set up by Claude Code for me, and look at that. In real time, I didn't edit any of that. This is the real speed of Gemma 4 running on my NAS. Quite usable, not as fast as you might expect, but yes, I'm here. How can I help you today? What is 2 plus 2? And hopefully now I should get a speedier response because the model is loaded into the NAS RAM. And again, I'm not editing any of this, so you can see the actual speed of this running on a Synology machine. It's saying 2 plus 2 equals 4. Yeah, okay, I know frontier models could do that much faster, but the fact that we can run a free open source model to do work for us in our own premises, so without having to touch the cloud, we can actually own a little bit of intelligence. I think that's really cool. All right, finally, let's just give it a task I'd actually do. Can you summarize this change log and give headlines in bullet points, short, and with one single emoji for each. And then I'm just going to paste in the changelog from Cursor 3, hit enter. Now I do expect this to take some time, so I'm gonna cut the video here. It's also very interesting to see while this is running, my CPU is at capacity on the NAS and the RAM is maxing up to 60%. So it's definitely taking a lot of resources. Okay, a quick update. It's been running for 4 minutes and it's only just started thinking through the request that I've given. So this model is not fast, but it is very slowly chugging away right now. Let's speed this up. Okay, so it's taken 3.5 minutes to chug through that thinking that you see there on the screen, and now it's actually going through and giving me the answer. Okay, there we go, and it's finished. It took just about 2 minutes to write the final summary. So in total, 9.5 minutes to look at a tiny changelog, think it through, and then write me a reply. You know what? It's not breaking any records on the time it's taken to do that task. That could be done in about 5 seconds with Frontier AI, but the fact that it is local, it is a new release, and it is a pretty smart summary is really encouraging. Thank you so much for watching this video, and YouTube is showing a video on your screen right now you should watch next.